What's up, YouTube? This is my 1 year review of my Diamondback tool bag setup. Around October of last year, I picked these up. There's nothing wrong with my other bags. I just wanted something new, and they had a sale about, you get free shipping if you spend X amount of dollars. So I decided to pick these up. That lowered them to a price point that I felt was acceptable. They are expensive, but I thought, have to wear it every day. Maybe something a little on the higher end would be better quality. I thought they'd be a game changer. They're not really the game changer that I thought they would be. I thought, for the money and the organization that I would get, they'd be just worlds ahead of what I had, and they're really not, in my opinion. I don't dislike them, but I don't like them as much as I was hoping I would. So, starting off on the left, these are framers bags, by the way. So, in my opinion, framers bags tend to make a little more sense. As an electrician even, I want to have some fasteners and wire nuts and Wagos and things on my right, along with the tools I need to use my dominant hand. On my left, I want to have staples, screws, fasteners that I use with my non-dominant hand on my left. And I feel like a lot of electrician setups are all tools on the right and all fasteners on the left. And that's just not a great workflow for me personally. But I feel like that's why I like framers bag setups a little more. So starting off, this is the Elias pouch on the left. My other bags, this was a big complaint. I really wanted one of these top pockets for my tape measure. I never used the clip on the back, and so I always wanted to have something that would hold the tape measure securely, that it couldn't fall out of, but yet wasn't one of the other pouches that I was trying to use, so I wasn't constantly moving it. I mean, there's something I had a problem with my other bags. So the Elias has the tape up front. A 16-foot tape fits great in here. A 25, not so much. It's just not deep enough, and it, in my opinion, my experience, as you're walking, it will bounce out. So this design has the speed square slot, 3 tool pouches, and then open pouch. So the speed square slot being in the back, I'll keep like one-off stuff in here, but I don't really use that very much. If I have like a big set of channel locks or something, I might throw them in there, because as an electrician, if I need a speed square, I'll usually just leave it where I'm cutting. But I do put it there if I do for some reason need to carry it around. So the 3 tool slots right here, you have this one here. You can see like the button on the Nipex gets stuck because the pocket's so tight. And that is one of my major complaints about these bags, is how tight the pockets are. And after a year of use, they're not really breaking in anymore. So, I mean, these come out of here multiple times every day, in and out. And even still, I got to kind of fight them down in there. These are once I get past the button, like they do sit down in there, all the way up to the shoulder of the handles. And they are pretty secure. So, I mean, that's about the best I could hope for with the big handled Nipex. But if I take these out, this level, and this is not a huge level, like just a standard small level, does not fit in any of these pockets on the side. If reliably, it only fits in the middle one, which is unfortunate, because I really would like to keep the level here and the Knipex here, because I reach for my Knipex pliers. Knipex, all right, I said it right. That brand German pliers come in and out way more than the level. Once I stick the level to stuff, it kind of stays, or I might take it in and out a few times, so I feel like this would be a better spot for it workflow wise, but it's unfortunate it doesn't fit in there. My dikes fit in all these, so I mean, that's not a big deal. You got this spot right here, which is kind of small. I think that's for like strips and nails maybe, but I usually keep my phone or a notepad in there. Open pouch. It has some spots here for pencils. I don't usually put anything in here. Sometimes I'll hook something to that if I need to. On the front here, got the gun loop. I do like this guy. This stiff piece of webbing right here. It's got this looser piece here. I usually will hold mine right there. This one kind of hits me in the knee. I keep it on the front. So if I used to have it back here, but I noticed that it would pull the belt down below my hips. And I mean, maybe I'm a small guy and this is an extra small belt, but maybe if you're a bigger guy or if you have an ass, then it might stay up. But that was a problem for me. So there's also a lot of little things on this belt that I don't really understand. Like, what's this for? Like a mallet, maybe? I don't understand how you'd get a hammer in there, really. Then you have this loop. Like, what is this loop for? A pin hammer? I don't know what you would use that for. Even a carpenter, I don't know what you'd use that for. So that's the left side. It is a little hard to get my hand in here. It's a little hard to get my hand in here, but this is for a speed square. So, I mean, when they were designing it, they weren't thinking you were going to stick your hand in there. And then I guess the same probably for this one, but I will keep, you know, like I said, a big pair of pliers in there if I need one. And then right here, maybe if I need like a specialty tool for something I'm working with, socket wrench, something like that, I can just drop it in there. And I mean, that does work okay. And I will keep my phone or notebook in there. On the right side, here's another one of those things, you know, like this loop. I feel like that would really piss me off, like just slapping me in the back all day. So up here I keep tape. This is the tape measure holder for this side. You can get either one of these bags in left or right, so you order them from the factory, left or right-handed. It's not designed for tape, so like big rolls will fall out, but like 33 or something will fall out of there unless I really shove it down in there. But that, I mean, I guess it wasn't designed for tape, but it seems to work well for me keeping tape up there. That's another thing that I was moving around my bags all the time. That was one of those little things that just like really gets to you during the day, and that one was one of mine. So tape fits good up there. So this is the Elias side. That was the Rangel, if I didn't mention that. And then, so this one, the setup in here is 3 tool pockets across the back, speed square slot, 3 tool pockets, and then open pouch. So if you notice, like the shoulder, this is a 10-in-1 or 11-in-1, does not fit down in there really. You kind of like force it down, but normally it just sits in there like that, unless you're willing to fight with it. And then you got the open spot, which sometimes I'll keep like my BX cutters in there. And then this one does fit down in there. This is my beater. Maybe that one, I don't know. Maybe it's a slightly smaller diameter of shoulder. And then this is a speed square slot. If you were using this for something other than a speed square and you have all these slots in the back filled, it is hard to get your hand down in there. And I'm not a big guy. Like, I don't have huge hands. But I will keep my wire nut spinner in there. Then you got 3 across the front, strippers, the knife. This was another thing about it. So right here where this desk stick is, that was where I'd like to keep my knife. Like, you can see how tight that is. Move the whole bag trying to get it in and out. And this after a year of daily use. I mean, the knife comes in and out all the time. I originally was trying to keep it there, which was a great spot for it, except you notice this is a regular Stanley knife, and you kind of have to like pinch it out. Like the pocket's almost a little too deep, so it falls down in there, and you have to like pinch it out, which that is annoying. That I fought with that enough that I ended up moving it. So the pencil slot works great for pencils. I cannot get a Sharpie in here reliably. And there's a third pencil slot back here under the bags. Like, what could that be for? Like, the bags cover that. And I mean, with that much space, maybe if you had a worn pencil, but if you have a worn pencil, why would you not be using it? So anyway, right here, this is another one of the slots I keep like my notebook or my cell phone in. And right now I'll keep like spade bits down in there. The pro tip, keep your spade bits point down so they don't poke you in the wrist. But yeah, so that does work good for that. Things that I'm not reaching for all the time, but like I want to have on me. That's a good spot for those. I think that's for strips and nails, like I said. So this one has like an open spot and then a bit bandolier right here. So I don't know if you can tell, but like that Sharpie is in there. And this Sharpie sits right here, or in one of these, every day. So, I mean, that is kind of a fight to wrestle that out. Can't even get it out with one hand. And I feel like that should have loosened up by now. Usually there's 3 bits in here, but so like if you can see, like this, I shoved orange wire nuts down in here so they don't fall all the way down, but like this, like that one's open. This one, you cannot get that down in there. It like folds the fabric. This one that's in every day, I can force it down, but it's still really tight. Tighter than I feel like it should be. This spot on the front has this little lid and Velcro. I never use that. I've never used that. I just stick it to the back. They do give you a spot of Velcro to stick that, so that is cool. If you don't want that, you don't have to go through the hassle of cutting it off. On this side, it has a little strap I keep Big Sharpie on. So on the front here, this is partial reason I got it. Between the tape measure spot and this thing, that was what sold me on it. So the hammer right here sits in this little sling. It's got like a belt buckle adjuster back there. You can see that little silver spot. And so that sometimes this will loosen up and then it'll be sitting like straight up. And then you have to like tighten it. So that can be a little annoying, but that's like a twice a month kind of thing. So not a huge deal. As far as the belt goes, if I had to go back, I think I'd get a 4-inch belt. I think the 6 might just be a little excessive for the loads I typically carry. Cobra belt buckle is great though. It does slide around a little bit, but it is great for, it never falls off. And I like that it's made of metal. It does have the 4-point suspenders. You can buy from them or put any suspenders I guess you want on there. And I'm not a suspenders guy. You don't get handles with these. You can buy handles to hook onto these. Kind of feel like for the price, handles should be included. But if they're not really, that's not really a sticking point for me. That is a sticking point for you. Just know that the handles are not included. So yeah, like I said, I'm a little lukewarm on it. It does a lot of things okay, but I don't feel like it does anything amazing. So if I can figure out a way to put that hammer holster on my other set of bags, I might. But for now, this is the setup I'm carrying around. I mean, personally, I'd rather have like less tool slots over here and ones that like the tools fit all the way down in reliably. And I would rather have like less, like the bandolier goes end to end of this pocket. That is a lot of bits. So I feel like I would rather have less of those and more useful ones, like maybe making them shorter. I realize that it is a fine line to walk between like too tight to get this in and out and loose enough and tight enough that it doesn't just sink all the way down to the bottom. So I don't know. I realize it's a fine line to walk and maybe I'm asking a little too much, but I'd prefer something that breaks in a little more. But I will say for a year of daily wear, there's almost no damage to these things. I mean, they're dirty and the little flag right there is fraying out a little bit, but I've had the belt longer than I've had the bags. But a year of daily use, being thrown in and out of the truck, thrown on and off my body, thrown, into corners or dropped in corners or whatever, I would say they're holding up great. If longevity is your main deal, then these definitely have that in spades. So yeah, thanks for watching, and leave a comment if you have any advice on how to loosen it up, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. But yeah, thanks for watching.